Welcome to another Xiao tutorial here with Dao. This week we've got a new track, some new notation, and still mixing in some of the more advanced intermediate techniques that we're ready to play now. Okay, so this week I'm playing an F flute, and the song that we're going to be going over with this tutorial, the next couple of tutorials as well, is called Wang Ning Mei, or Vain Longing is how it's translated. It's from a classical Chinese literature called Dream of Red Mansions. So we're going to be using it for the next couple of videos to kind of explain some of these techniques. Okay, so let's get into it. For this week's technique, the one we want to be talking about is called Guqin, or sticky notes, or like double noting, okay? And it's just a little basic flare or flutter that you're going to put into the notation. So remember, all this notation, when we're doing it, this is all above the main pitch. So all these notations, they're not really part of the main structure. They don't affect the rhythm, they don't affect the tempo, things like this. The main thing that they do is they just add variety, add a little bit of flavor or depth to the notes, and the pitch changes. Okay, so this one is going to really just affect the change in pitch. So we'll notice it in that almost the last section of the piece we played today, where it goes from the mid-range La to mid-range Xi. So this is just one pitch variation, one ascending pitch. And when we have that, just very simply, it would just be 1 to 2, it would be 6 to 7, just lifting the notation. What we want to do for this notation, when you see this character, this yopan, this Chinese symbol that flutters above the pitch, in that place, what we want to do is, instead of just lifting 1, we actually want to lift 2 notes and go back down. So you're going to have this little bit of a breathe out, press back down. So it gives it this kind of lifting extra accent, okay? So without the notation, we're going to see we can play that in any octave, in any scale. You can use this technique. So even dropping down, we can have just one pitch to one pitch, but you can have a so this technique, you're going to always notice it when you're changing between one pitch to a higher pitch. It can be used pretty much everywhere, any octave, any note change. Again, using sparingly. One of the details that's going to come into effect really is make sure you're using the pads of the finger as you're doing this note shift, because the flatter you get the hand when you're playing, the easier it's going to be to make this flutter. It's really almost imperceptible movement. It's very small. So we can slow it down, and it's like that. You know, it's lift, close, lift, close. But the movement itself is just a very quick breathing, very quick adjust, just to add some flavor to that note. You can practice this notation just ascending on a scale, so you can make up little things and just kind of practice the lifting, so you have it on each different notation. Just something to practice, something to add something to your music, and understand this notation when you see it, because that's going to give you the full effect of this song. So I'm going to leave you there today. Take that piece of notation and try to find some jianpu. You'll see this come up a lot, and you can practice it in those versions, but you can also kind of use it in your own music to spice something up, to add a little bit more depth and perspective to your notes. And tune in next week. We're going to keep going through this track and introduce it piece by piece, so we can get a few new techniques. We got vibratos and high notes and glissando and things like this coming up. So like and subscribe, follow along so you can get notifications when the new videos come out. If you have any questions, let me know, but I think at this point you guys are probably pretty well off with the variety of technique that we've covered. Keep working at it, and we'll see you next week for the next tutorial.